We are on page 75 of the exercise book. And questions 9 and 10 refer to the graphs below. Okay, again, I'm going to take a moment and look at my graphs. I'm going to figure out that this has a negative slope and the y-intercept is at 0, 0. This slope is positive. The y-intercept is at 0, 2. This slope is negative. The y-intercept is at 0, 2. And the x-intercept is at 1.5, 0. This slope is positive, and the y-intercept is at 0, 0. This slope is negative, and the y-intercept is at 0, 1. So I do that just before I even look at the questions. Number 9, which graph has a slope of positive 0.75. So I can eliminate A, it has a negative slope, C has a negative slope, and E has a negative slope. So even if I just have to guess here, I'm guessing out of 2 instead of 5. But we don't have to guess. We can find the slope. So let's look at graph B and see what we have. I like this one. We have a rise of 1 and a run of almost 2. We have a rise of 1 and a run of almost 2. That's it. We have a rise of 1 and a run of hold it. What am I doing here? Have I got my scale right? Yes, I do. So a rise of 1 and a run of 1.25. I shouldn't have done this. This is confusing, I know. But we can do it. A rise of 1 and about 1.25. If you do this on the calculator, you will get 0.80. Okay, let's test the other one. I think that's it, but let's check the other one. We're looking at a positive slope on D. This one is going to have a rise of, let me go to a whole point. That's where I messed up on the other one. So if you rise 4, you run 3. So rise is 4, run is 3. That is, as a decimal, 1.33. And the reason I'm doing it as a decimal is because my answer is in decimal form, 0.75. So the one that I have, the B, is close at 0.80, so I would go with that. But let me do this again and do the slope the way I should have shown you. I have a funky way of doing this that most people don't even relate to, but let's try it this way. Let's go from point to point. And I'm going to use this point right here. If that line kept going, this would be a point. So let's calculate our slope right there. So rise is going to be 1, 2, 3. And run is going to be 4. Rise is 3. Run is 4. So that is 3/4. So my 80 up there is off. The exact slope is 0.75. And an old habit broke through there. I should not have done that. I should have done my slope right here. Anytime you're doing slope, a normal person will look for 2 points. I don't do that. So rise 3, run 4, and that will give you the slope. So the answer is B, and I'm sorry that I got off on that rabbit trail. Which graph has a slope of -1? So let's eliminate B and D because those are positive. So if I had to guess, I'm guessing from 3 instead of 5. The odds just got a lot better. Now I like A because that looks like it might have the slope I'm looking for, but so does E. But let's check them all. So not to do the same thing I did a minute ago, let's do a point on right here. So we're going to say rise 3, run 4. Now this is negative slope, but it's 3/4. So that's not it. Okay, let's try C. And we've got 2 points right here. Thank goodness. So it is, the rise is going to be 2 boxes. And the run is going to be 1.5 boxes. So I have 2 box high. And 1.5 run. If you divide that through, that's going to be a pretty steep slope. It's about 1 1/3. Let me try that again. Yes. 1 1/3. So that's a little bit more than what we're looking for. And it's negative. Okay, so let's try E and hope for the best. Again, I want to go between 2 points. So this is it. Rise 1, run 1, rise 1, run 1. And another way you can tell, you see how this box right here, again, this is my wonky brain doing this, but this is what I see, that my slope is covering one box. There's a point in each corner and one box is cut in half. So that's a slope of 1. I'm looking at the other side of the stair step. Right there. So one box is one movement on the slope scale. So the slope here is 1. And that's what we're looking for. It is -1, excuse me. And so this will be graph E. You could also pick the points and do the slope formula, but talk about taking all day. That would take a while. All right, number 11. Consider the 2 points on a line below. Which point is not on the same line as those points? All right, so we are looking at 2 points. And if I have 2 points, I can find what? Slope. So I'm going to let this be x1 and y1, x2 and y2, and the slope is going to be y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. So 3/5, and it is positive. So the slope is 3/5. So that means that I should be able to take any of these points down here and one of my yellow points and get 3/5 as my slope. So this time I think I'm going to use that 3, 7 and let that be x1, y1. And then this will become the second point. So here's x2, y2. And here comes slope. Y sub 2 minus y sub 1, x sub 2 minus x sub 1. So I end up with 6/10. That would reduce by 2. So 2 into 6 is 3, and 2 into 10 is 5. That slope matches what I got up there. Now don't pick that as the answer. Let's keep plugging along here. Here's the second point. And remember, this is the second in this formula as well. So we have y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1 is negative 10 over negative 16. That will simplify by 2 down to 5 over 8. So that one does not match. Okay, let's try the next point. Trust me here. You'll see. x2, y2. So the first point is still not changing. We have negative 5 minus 7. Negative 17 minus 3 is negative 12 over negative 20. If you reduce that by 4, you get 3 over 5. So that one does match. Then we have 2 more to do. Hang with me. We'll make it. Doesn't mean I like it. When I was learning slope, I did exactly the same thing. Didn't like it then either. So 1 minus 7, negative 7 minus 3 is negative 6 over negative 10, which is positive 3/5. You see why I didn't want you to pick the first one, because that's not the answer. You probably see the answer though. Here is the last one. What do you think this one's going to turn out to be? A yes or a no? 4 minus 7, negative 2 minus 3 is negative 3 over negative 5, which is positive 3/5. So what's your answer here? Which point is not on the same line as those 2 points? It is this one, because the slopes do not match. And if points are on the same line, their steepness is the same. The steepness of the line doesn't change, and so the slope of the line doesn't change. Okay, we have a test-taking tool. I'll let you read that, but I would read it. It's a good one, but we've done that. That's what we did at the top there. Okay, I'm going to stop this video, and I'll see you back for page 76.